Thank you. So it's great to see that you have all joined this webinar today. My name is Hina Vidair. I am the Student Recruitment Manager for the Middle East and North of Africa. So if you're interested in medicine, this is a good place for you to start and find out more about St. George's University. I am based at Knowledge Village in Dubai. So if you're ever around, please do come and say hello. It'd be lovely to meet you. And I'm going to talk you through the St. George's University and any kind of other additional information that you may need that I may not speak about. Please do put it in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you. So we'll get started, if my cursor works. So this is St. George's University. Now, St. George's University is taught in two locations. This is the main location, which is in Grenada. And it is a top center of international education. It draws in a faculty and students from all around the globe. St. George's University in this picture here is in the Caribbean, in the sunny and beautiful island of Grenada in the West Indies. Now, all the orange rooftops you can see make up the whole campus of the university. It's very beautiful, as you can see, and I'm going to tell you more about it. It is called the True Blue Campus, and there is another campus in the UK, and I'll tell you more about that as we move into the presentation. So, the university has been around for about 44 to 45 years. It was founded in 1976. And so far to date, SGU has graduated over 2,000 physicians. They are not only practicing in the US or the UK, but in many other countries globally. So one of the first questions we often get asked from international students is that, will you get a US residency? Well, as an international student and with the research that you would be doing about medicine, you will know that it is not the easiest task to be able to get a US residency after you have completed your medical studies. At St. George's University, I can confirm that graduates secure more US residencies than any other school's graduates. So, as we move on to the next slide, St. George's University is the largest providers of doctors into the first year of US residencies for the last 8 years. Now, in 2022, there have been 990 US residencies that have been counted, but this is the number as of July, and we are still counting until the end of this year, and we are confident that it will increase. And so for international students over the last 3 years, they have consecutively scored 89% placement rates. And that's for the last 3 years. So it's a number that stays consistent and shows that there is success. There is no other medical school in the world that provides more new doctors into the US healthcare system. And St. George's University is the largest source of physicians for the entire US workforce. Now, to get a US residency is not just about, going to a university and off you go to US residency. It doesn't really work like that. There are a number of factors that play in. And one of the main things at St. George's University is the Office of Careers Guidance and Student Development. These teams support each and every student to develop their personalized residency strategy. Now, that can mean anything for any student studying medicine. You may want to become a neurosurgeon, or you may want to become a pediatrician, you know, and everyone has a different path. What these teams do is work with you individually and really map out your journey from the day that you start with St. George's University all the way into your clinical rotations and beyond as to where you will go for your residency. It's really important for you to be placed into the right clinical rotations. And these clinical rotations are vast with St. George's University. There are over 75 affiliated hospitals in the UK and US that students can go to do their clinical rotations in. And it is part of the program. So the last 2 years, you will be doing your clinical rotations in hospitals, clinics, and surgeries in the US and the UK, or one or the other, or a bit of both. So coming on to the other question, how does your clinical network help you obtain a residency? Well, without clinical rotations, you do not have letters of recommendations. Letters of recommendations are required for you to be able to secure a residency. And the more clinical rotations you do, the more letters of recommendations you receive. And that is possible with St. George's University because of the amount of affiliated hospitals the university has. So as I was saying, there are over 75 hospitals and health systems in 2 countries combined, US and UK. So does your education at St. George's University prepare you for the USMLE? Before you go for your clinical rotations in the US, you do have to sit a USMLE, which I'm not sure if any of you know what it stands for, but it stands for United States Medical Licensing Exam. You need to get a pass in this exam to be able to progress into doing the US residencies and the clinical rotations first and foremost. The university actively work with students from the day that they start, preparing them for the USMLE. 94% of first-time international test takers have passed with a rate of 94%. And that's for step 1, which is taken before your clinical rotations. Step 2, which is taken during your clinical rotations, the pass rate is 92%. So you might be asking, what happens to the other percentage? Well, the other percentage may choose not to go to the US. And they will filter through to the UK to be able to practice in the UK or in another country. Or they may not pass. And if they don't pass, there is the opportunity for them to retake. And once they are retaking, they also have the opportunity to mentor new students as well. And I can tell you more about that on a more one-to-one basis, should you be further interested. So here's a little bit more about the university. It's a short video, and I'm sure you will find it very interesting.
SGU has done so much to help me prepare. From the very beginning, they always try to keep in mind what's our end goal.
I believe that SGU has really helped propel me towards my lifelong dream of becoming a doctor.
I'm very confident that I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have gotten residency at Mayo Clinic if I had gone to any school other than St. George's. SGU was the best investment I've made in my entire life. Absolutely.
SGU has an outstanding network of over 16,000 School of Medicine graduates who practice in all 50 United States, as well as 50 countries around the world. That's truly remarkable.
We've been in existence for over 40 years. So we've trained a whole lot of doctors. And probably one of the most unique advantages of coming to St. George's is the amount of support that we give to our students. We attempt to make every student that we accept to the med school be successful. We can offer a wide variety of educational pathways leading to the MD degree, which means the vast majority of students that want to be a physician are going to become physicians.
Studying here is quite demanding, but I believe that the school is here to help us, supporting all the students and their families, and that is a big thing.
On campus, an SGU lifestyle, I think, is similar to a school in the States, except you have this beautiful environment where you're really focused on becoming a doctor.
This is a comprehensive campus. We have 65 buildings. We actually run our own bus service. We have our new exercise facility, restaurants, and our brand new dorm is spectacular. We really cater to the unique needs of all of our students and create an incredibly safe and supportive environment.
The school really tries to help you make sure that you know what you're doing. And it's just really nice to have such a big community.
The key to medical education is the learning group size, because that's the environment where you're learning medicine. And most of our curriculum is taught in small groups of 8.
One of the things we do here is we've set up DES, the Department of Educational Services, where our students learn how to learn.
We really focus on the individual. It's really student-centered education. We work with students in workshops. We work with students in small groups. We also do provide one-on-one support for students who are developing their English language.
They provide practice tests, educational material, all of that. And so when I took step 1, for me, it felt like taking another St. George's test.
We're often judged by the success of our students in USMLE exams. And in fact, we are virtually identical to a US medical school in our success rate. But in addition to standardized tests, I think we are particularly good at preparing students to be lifelong learners long into their careers.
The first 2 years in Grenada really prepared me well to succeed here in clinical rotations.
And I do believe that these clinical rotations are probably the most important aspect in trying to narrow down what you want to do for residency.
St. George's allowed me to do multiple rotations, to repeat rotations that I was interested in, and were incredibly encouraging.
We have relationships with over 70 hospitals. So it's really an opportunity for our students to think about, where do I want to train to get the residency that you're looking for?
I'm a second-year resident, and I know this is a privilege. It's a path that not everyone gets to walk, and SGU is really the stepping stone that enabled me to be here.
If you look at the average residency placement, all those numbers are on par, if not better than the US averages, and that's a testament to St. George's.
I'm a big believer in diversity, and all one needs to do is come on the campuses and walk, and you look around you and you see diversity.
I've met so many great people from so many different countries, and they all have different experiences from their country.
You learn about their backgrounds, their customs, their cultures, and having that exposure is crucial, in terms of being able to take care of people down the road.
Our students have the opportunity to train all over the world. We have actually been working in partnership with Northumbria University in Newcastle, England. And one of the things that we can now offer to students is to spend the first year of your medical curriculum in Newcastle.
That gives you a perfect combination of doing 1 year of school in England and 1 year of school in Grenada, and then your clinical rotations in North America, or to come back to the UK.
That type of international medical education is not only extremely valuable, but is quite unique.
Being a doctor in the 21st century, I think not only means being able to take care of patients, but also making sure that you continue to better yourself as a doctor. That's a really key point here, is that St. George's does a phenomenal job at getting you ready for your career.
I don't think that I would have been able to get the experience that I've gotten here at SGU anywhere else.
As soon as they drape the white coat over you, you kind of have that sense that this is the beginning of the journey.
My parents feel pretty happy about this because I'm doing something which is beneficial for mankind.
If you put in the work, doors will fly open for you. And I'm just very, very fortunate and thankful for that opportunity.
So, as you saw in the video, the campus is in the north of America in Grenada, where you see my cursor circling around. However, there is also a partner campus, partner university even, Northumbria in the United Kingdom, which is in Newcastle, north of the UK. So you have the option to study at 2 locations with the opportunity to be able to practice in the US or the UK or any parts of the world, depending on accreditations and approval. So the pathway to Doctor of Medicine degree. The MD program is this portion here, the 4 years. Now, coming straight out of high school, you would either start in the 5-year pathway or the 6-year pathway. Some students straight out of IGCSE, for instance, may join at a 7-year program. But generally, if you are a high school student scoring above 80% in your CBSE, for instance, or you have over 32 points in your IB, or you are scoring 3 Bs in your sciences or with 1 maths, you would start at the 5-year MD pathway. You do 1 year of preclinical sciences in the UK or Grenada. You then progress into your 4-year MD program. Again, you can do the 2nd year or the 1st year of the MD program in the UK or Grenada. And then your principles of clinical medicine in Grenada solely. You then progress on to your clinical rotations in the US or the UK. So you have options to study in the UK or in Grenada with the end goal of being able to do your residency in the US or taking the UK pathway. So even though there are 2 different locations, which is Grenada and the UK, both locations offer the same curriculum, faculty, and outcomes. And you also have the option to do selectives whilst you're doing your basic sciences in places like in Africa, Czech Republic, Thailand, Sweden, and India. And definitely students have gone out to these locations. And then your last 2 years of the full program is your clinical rotations in the US or the UK affiliated hospitals. Sometimes there's also options for electives in Canada. So I've talked a lot about the university and the program, but what will your life actually be like at St. George's University? Well, the university has high quality accommodations and amenities to support your life and studies. As you saw in the video, it has state-of-the-art gym facilities. Regardless of what your dietary requirements may be, whether it's halal, vegan, or you only like Italian food, you are guaranteed to find it on campus. And there is a pretty much all-day bus service available for you to be able to go and explore the island. There are also many student clubs and organizations that you can get involved in. And if there is a particular hobby or something that you are passionate or interested in, you are welcome to start your own club. And what better way to meet like-minded people and make new friends as well. As I alluded to earlier, there is a gym available on campus, but there's also full sports and recreation opportunities from water sports to classes in yoga and Pilates. Lots of art clubs. There's lots of things going on campus for when you want to actually, de-stress, because let's face it, medical studying is not easy, and we recognize that and want to make your journey as comfortable for you as possible. So how do you apply? The application process is done online, and the team at Gyanberry will be more than happy to assist you with it. You submit all of your academics from 9th onwards with 2 letters of recommendation, and an English is required. So for IELTS, you need 7 across all bands and 7 overall. You also should include your extracurricular activity and certificates, a strong personal statement, and a passport scan. Once all of your documents have been reviewed, you will be invited in for an interview. After the interview, there will be an admissions decision made. And should you be lucky enough to be accepted, you have a month to accept your offer and submit your deposit to secure your spot. You then, of course, in the fall, fly to Grenada or the UK, depending on where you have opted to study medicine. And you begin to study medicine. So, with all of that, You will receive full one-to-one support from myself from when you do the application inquiry. And I will walk you through the whole process from when you do the inquiry to application until you actually get on that plane and fly to the location of your preferred campus to study medicine.
Absolutely. So that brings us to the end of the webinar today. So I would just like to reinforce once again that on behalf of entire team of Gyanberry, firstly, we would like to thank Ms. Hena again. And secondly, students, please be rest assured that we are there to help, assist and guide you. So please do not hesitate to contact us because different curriculums have different requirements. There are specific case-to-case questions that, we were having in this session. And we want to individually give you, one-on-one attention. So please go to our website and book our counseling sessions where we can address them. And any further information that you want, we will definitely get in touch with Ms. Hena and we'll try to provide you all the information that you are looking from this session. I would just like to launch the poll, just to know how was the session for you all today so that, we get an estimate of how you liked the presentation and in future, what are the things that we should definitely include in these webinar series that Gyanberry is organizing for all the dear students.
Amazing. Really good to see. I'm so glad that it's been a positive experience for each and every one of you. And as you were saying, Shagufa, thank you very much. And as you were saying about, it being a personalized process for each and every student, exactly the way that I will be guiding you should you decide to apply to St. George's University. I have a very one-to-one system with each and every student, and I walk you through the whole process until you're sitting on that plane on your way to campus to study medicine.
Absolutely. So we'll just end this webinar. Wish you all a lovely evening. Hope you have a great time. And thank you, Ms. Hena. It was amazing meeting you, going through the presentation and, the way you took us through it was amazing. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for your time, and I hope to see you sometime in the future. Thank you. Goodbye.
And thank you for all the students and parents for sparing out time and joining us for this session. Thank you all. Bye. Have a lovely evening.